Blog Talk Radio.
Everybody, welcome to Morris Talk Live 100. I'm your host, Tarhaka Amana El Bay, and tonight we're dealing with part 2, relationships, numbers, and the Zodiac. We're trying to conclude this and trying to get in all the information that we think you would need involved in this subject here. And so you might want to make sure you got paper and pencil handy, and you can always go back and check this out on YouTube. We'll be converting this video and we'll be throwing it up on YouTube. But before we get started, let's go to our commercial. When we come back, we diving in. Y'all hold your hat for a minute. We'll be right back, okay? The greatest move you can make beginning in 2022 is to move out of the public and into the private. That's how you get rid of student loans, child support, mortgages, foreclosures, and all this kind of business. Go to TarhakaDebtElimination.org. That's TarhakaDebtElimination.org. Fill out my contact. As a secured party and creditor, can you buy a home, a car, and other items you need and want? The answer is yes, and there are documents you use to do just that. Catch my radio podcast at Blog Talk Radio. Go to TarhakaDebtElimination.org. Fill out the box with your email address that say join our mailing list, and I will send you my free report. You got credit problems? Contact me at TarhakaDebtElimination.org. Let's stay in honor and get into the private. Okay, now before we press on, we're going to be dealing with some of the following questions. These are just a few of the questions that we are going to be dealing with here this evening. Number one, how important is astrological science? What is the life you were born to live? How accurate is astrology? What is a life path number? How do you get your power number? What about tarot cards? How old is the Zodiac? What is the history of the tarot cards? Now, we got a lot of people saying a whole lot of things about the origin of where this stuff come from, but I'm going to just cut straight through the chase and just tell you where it came from. Came straight from the African Egyptians, okay? Came out of Egypt, and there's a lot of people who's being given credit for producing this and producing that, who never existed in the history of the world. This came out of Egypt, and it was produced by the Africans in Egypt, point blank, okay? All right, so let's keep that in mind, and we'll press on here, and then we'll be come on back and going on down into the science, okay? So y'all hold on a moment. Hello, everybody. I want to introduce you to The Great Debate by Dr. Walter Williams. He single-handedly laid out the facts in this powerful debate against Mr. Munir Muhammad of the Nation of Islam, Chester Blair, a prominent lawyer in Chicago, Illinois, and Reverend Henry Hardy, a prominent minister in Chicago, and Prince Azio bin Israel of the Hebrew Israelites. This debate was hosted by a retired policeman named W.L. Lillard. Now, the whole thing was a setup by Lillard and his gang, but it didn't work. They brought what they believed to the table, but Dr. Walter Williams brought what he knew for a fact and what he could prove and laid it on the table. We are now in the age of knowing. The age of walking around believing in stuff is over. For your copy of The Great Debate, go to TarhakaDebtElimination.org. That's TarhakaDebtElimination.org, or contact me by phone. My number's on the website. Oh, and by the way, the lawyer got bust up too. The Great Debate. Get your copy today. Good day and peace. Okay, everybody. Now, let me say a few things about believing. When you have a core belief, like we got people, well, I believe in the Democrats, or I believe in the Republicans, or I believe in Jesus, or I believe in God, and I believe in this and believe in that. Anytime you have this type of core belief, and when someone comes along and introduce you to something that you regard that goes against your core belief, it doesn't matter whether it's true, whether you got all the facts, all the evidence, evidence is overwhelming and compelling. But because of your core beliefs, you want to phase it out. You want to block it. Nobody can tell you anything. You're not willing to look at it. You're not willing to be objective. And it's all due to your core belief. You are suffering from what's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. Say it one more time. Cognitive dissonance. Anytime you believe in something. See, when it comes to religion, you got four things. Number one, all religions come with belief. You have to believe in this religion. Okay? Number two, all religions have the concept of what's called God attached to that religion. Number three, all religions have literature that comes attached to that religion. And the final thing, number four, is all religions have fear attached to that religion, and that's wrong. Fear. You got the concept of something that you must believe in outside of yourself. Even though you know for a fact, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that a mother and a father got together through a sexual relationship and you was born into this world. Until one day, and I mean, you were just fine. You know, they raised you, run, played, and then you went to elementary school. We don't know when it happened, but one day somebody took you by the hand and introduced you to religion or church, involving religion, and try to instill this core belief into you, hoping that it's going to make you a better person. But keep in mind, you were wonderful prior to this ever happening to you. You had your mind and your brain inside your body. The bones are inside your body. Your blood courses through your veins, which is inside your body. Everything that you have is attached to you and inside of you. Until somebody comes along and introduce you to something for you to have a core belief in outside of yourself. Now, when you go back and you look at the history of religion, true history of religion, worldwide, regardless of what religion you believe in, you will see that it's responsible for the worst wars and crimes and damnation in recorded history. But because of your core belief, you want to ignore that. We're going to move right along. We're going to get down into science today. And this stuff here comes from ancient Egypt. The Egyptians used this thousands of years ago, and I don't have to tell you who they are. They built the greatest civilizations the world has ever seen. We already know that. The evidence is still here today. We have their monuments and buildings and tombs and temples. They still digging up remains that you can actually see. See, you don't have to believe this. You can actually see it with your own eyes. You see. But anyway, we're going to get down into the science, and we're going to deal with these numbers and stuff. And we're going to introduce you to the tarot card thing. You know, what is that? You know, where it come from? What is this about? And then we're going to deal with the African astrology. Okay, we want to find out about that. We want to learn about the autumn equinox and the spring equinox, because we're running around here in January in the dead of winter talking about Happy New Year. When even a person that's really not that intelligent common sense would tell them that the beginning of a new year comes in spring, when everything comes to life. All the little hatchlings, the little animals and stuff come out, and the flowers are blooming, and it's the beginning of a new year. But this society promotes you to believe that the beginning of a new year begins in January. The whole system is all messed up. We going right along with it. I mean, out there in the dead of winter, down here freezing. Got on overcoats and say, Happy New Year. That's what's wrong with you. What is wrong with your brain? Haven't you done a little research in it? And when you say, well, look, what do you mean? This is the beginning of a new year. A new year comes in the spring. They have nothing to say because of their core belief and their cognitive dissonance because of that core belief. Okay? All right. Now, anyway, we're going to start off with this thing and run through it. And we're going to pick up where we left off at with these numbers. And we're going to deal with the life path number. And I told you how this go. You add up all your numbers. You got the month you were born, the day you was born, and the entire year you was born. If you was born March the 1st, 1978, we'll add all those numbers together, and you see what you come up with. And you usually come up with 2 digits. When you do, you add those 2 digits together, and that'll give you a single digit. That is your life path number. Okay? So we're going to go on up in there on that, and when we come back, then we'll go back on into some more of this stuff here. So yo, hold your hat for this numerology. Hold on.
What's poppin', YouTube, and welcome to my channel, Astro Finesse. It's your boy Lil Finesse, the Jiggy Hippie, back with another video for y'all. And this video right here is gonna be an introduction to a brand new series. But before I get into the series, I gotta give y'all like an intro one-on-one for beginners video, and that's gonna be on numerology. Numbers have energy. Everything has energy. Everything has vibrations. Numbers especially have energies, and we see numbers everywhere we go, on TV, when watching sports, when we're driving around, we see numbers all the time. When we're reading, at work, everywhere we go, we see numbers. So what I'm going to try and do is make y'all conscious, make y'all aware of the energies and vibrations that numbers have, especially when it's within you. Like when you look at your birthday, you look at yourself for the self-knowledge and the self-love and the self-awareness. I'm going to help y'all understand how like your life path number, that's like a section in numerology. Numerology is a broad topic. It gets hella deep. The same way astrology gets deep, that you're not just one sign. You have a moon sign, a rising sign, you got all these aspects and all that. Numerology gets hella deep. But I'm just going to give y'all like a basic understanding of like the most crucial part of numerology that you have to understand, which is your life path number. Now numerology, there's like 5 numbers that are important. Got the life path, we got the soul urge number, we got the birth date number, which is like the number that you were born, your birthday. Like I was born on March 25th, so my birth date number would be 25. We have the name number, which is taking your name, and there's a chart that you can take your name, the letters in your name, convert them to numbers and add it up. Like I said, it gets mad deep. And then we have the personality number. But what I'm going to do right now is just start off with the life path number. The series is going to be life path numbers. I'm going to help y'all understand what it means. I'm going to help y'all understand how to get it. I'm going to help y'all understand how the life path number pertains to your life. The same way I do with astrology, same way I'm going to do with numerology. So before I start, give y'all some thoughts that go on in my head when it comes to information. Alright, so there's a lot of information that has been taken away from us. There's a lot of sacred knowledge that has been stolen from us, that has been taken away from us, that has not been taught to us, that we have to know. Like, hopefully by now, y'all know your moon sign, your rising sign, your sun sign. Now imagine when you were in high school, when you were in a public school, like we actually learned about ourselves through astrology. Like imagine us learning about astrology instead of learning about Christopher Columbus sailing the ocean blue, instead of learning about like the history that was mostly fake in the books and all that. Imagine learning things that really help us get in tune with ourselves, like meditation or like the laws of attraction, how to manifest things. Imagine learning all of that in school. They're not going to teach you all this in school because they want to, and when I say they, I hope you know who I'm talking about. They want to control you. They want to keep you in the energy that you don't know who you are. So if you don't know who you are, you're easily led by people or other forces outside yourself. You're easily like influenced if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you're made of. So they're not going to teach you these things in school. So that's why we have to do our own research. Like I'm a teacher, but I'm also a student. Like I'm teaching y'all things, but I'm also learning from y'all and from everybody else. I'm also learning every single day. So we have to take time out of our lives to learn and study and research things for ourselves, because we're not going to be given to it. Whatever society gives you, whatever society promotes, whatever society like puts in your face, usually 9 times out of 10 is like negative, is bad energy. It's made to keep you vibrating in a low vibration so they can control you. So things like this, numerology, astrology, society doesn't really push it in your face. They don't teach it in school, but hopefully by now you peeped that astrology is very real. Like that shit is like true knowledge. Like, so numerology is the same thing. So understand that self-knowledge, self-awareness is very important, and doing your own research is very, very important. So with that out the way, let's get it popping, shall we? So numerology, life path number. To figure out your life path number, to start off, what you're gonna do, now I'm gonna move to the side a little bit so I get some space so I can put the numbers up on the screen. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your whole birthday and write it out. So in my case, I was born on March 25th, 1995. So I'll do 03 for March, and space it out and put it in categories from your month, your day to the year. So in my case, I got March number 3, put that to the side. March 25th, so 25, that's the day, put that to the side. 1995, put that to the side. So after you have that, what you're going to do is add up the 2 digits of each section. So if you were born in December, it will be 12. You do 1 plus 2 equals 3, so you have 3. In my case, I have March, so 3. I'm going to leave the 3 there, so put that to the side. And I'll go to the day. In my case, it's 25. 2 plus 5 is 7, so you're going to have 7. When you have 2 numbers, you add them up to reduce it. So I got March 3, put it to the side, plus the 2 plus 5, the 25th, is equals 7, so 3 plus 7. And then the year, I'm born in 1995, so you're going to add up 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 5. Whatever year you're born, you're going to add up each digit by itself. And in my case, that's going to equal to 6, so I put that to the side. So I have 3, 7, and 6. Now I'm going to add these 3 numbers together. 3 plus 7 plus 6, and that equals to 16. Now that number alone, 16, is also has energy to it. Also has a lot of like meaning to it. There's no coincidences. There's no coincidences in life. I want y'all to keeping that in mind and make sure you really understand that everything happens for a reason. Your soul has a purpose. Like you came on this earth for a reason. You came here to learn a lesson. You came here to grow. You came here to carry out your life purpose. And like I said, we weren't taught this growing up. We weren't taught this in public schools. So a lot of us are walking around not knowing who we are at all, like having no self-knowledge. And that's so sad, because you're just living life by how somebody set it up for you, kind of thing, instead of you like looking within yourself and seeing what kind of energies you have, and you can create whatever life you want. But anyway, so like I said, so I got 3, 7, and 6. 3 plus 7 plus 6 equals 16. That number, like I said, is very important. So now, whenever you get 2 digits, you want to reduce it to 1. So 6 plus 1 equals 7. So that means life path number 7. I'm a life path number 7. Now, if you have when you do the math and it comes out to number 11, 22, or 33, see how those are repeating? 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s. Those are called master numbers. You're not going to reduce it. You're going to leave it how it is. So if it's 11, you're going to leave it at 11, your life path number 11. If it's 22, you're going to leave it at your life path number 22. If it's 33, you're going to leave it at life path number 33. Now, all that means, and I'm going to have a whole series talking about each number. I'm going to have a video on each number separately. You already know. I'm going to go in. Don't even worry about the information. I got y'all. But basically, master numbers are like amplified numbers. So master number 11, 1 plus 1 equals 2. So it would be like an amplified number 2. Life path number 22. 2 plus 2 is 4. It would be like an amplified life path number 4. And life path number 33, 3 plus 3 is 6. It's like an amplified number 6. Okay? So that's how you figure out your life path number. That's the most significant number in numerology for yourself. The same way astrology has its thing to learn about yourself, numerology has its thing to learn about yourself. All I'm trying to do is make it cool, make it look cool, make it have like bring awareness to learning about yourself. Like nobody wants to teach us about ourselves. They want to teach us how to look outside of ourselves. They want to teach us how to be controlled. They want to teach us how to be sheep. Nobody wants to teach us how to do things for ourselves. School will never teach you how to start your own business. They want to teach you how to go to school, to get a better job, to work with somebody, and instead of like teaching you how to like be yourself, basically. So anyway, I keep going back to that, but I want to make sure y'all understand that doing your own research is very, very important. So now that you did the math, and now in my videos, you know how I'm always like, if you look at your birth chart, your natal chart, and you realize you're yada yada, this video is for you. Now I'm going to be like, if you did your math, and you realize you're yada yada, this video is for you. So do your math. I'll tell you how to do the math. Take your month, take your day, take your year, separate it, add up the 2 digits in your month, add up the 2 digits in your year, in your day, add up the 4 digits in your year, put it down, and then add those 3 numbers up. You're going to get a 2-digit number. Add those 2 numbers up, unless it's 11, 22, and 33, then that will give you your life path number. And that number, that vibration of that number has a predominant effect on your life. Understand that. This is very serious. Like, if it's the first time you learning about this, you're really about to learn a lot about yourself. So like I said, I'm going to have a video on each number, breaking it down. But just to give y'all like a brief explanation on each number real quick. Just like very brief. Like I said, I'm going to break it down in my series. But number 1, if you're life path number 1 is the first life path number. So it's the beginning of everything, beginning of life. It's the leader. It stands by itself. It can be egotistical sometimes, but it's all about being a leader, being confident in myself. And it's also the father figure in the numerology. Life path number 2, it has to do with like being diplomatic, having balance. It could be like the Libra energy, very nurturing, very kind, very peacekeeping. You can also tie in numerology to astrology with the energy. So look at number 2 as like the Libra type energy, like nurturing, balance. It can have problems not making decisions because it always wants to please both parties. The same way Libra has problems making decisions because it doesn't want to hurt nobody. It can have that same problem because it deals with duality, basically. Number 3, if your life path number 3, it has to do with creative energy. Oh, I'm sorry. Number 2 is also the mother. Life path number 1 is the father. Life path number 2 is the mother. Life path number 3 is the child, and it has to do with creativity. So we could pertain that to like, I'm going to say like Leo energy kind of thing. It's all about expressing yourself, being creative. Anything that has to do with imagination too. I guess it could do with Pisces energy, being imaginative in the mind. But imagination, being creative, like childlike energy. It can have a problem being too creative, not being like solid and being like practical. It could be more on the imaginative side and not being in the practical side. So that's life path number 3. That's the child. Life path number 4, the way the 4 is shaped, you can even look how it looks like it's strong, it's structured, it has 90-degree angles, like it's structured. Life path number 4 has to do with building, being practical, being structured, working very hard for everything that you desire. You can pertain that to like the Capricorn work ethic, like works and grinds to reach to the top. So 4 is about structure. 4 is about building. Building is like a key word for number 4. Being a builder and building up to things that you love. Life path number 5 is about freedom. So you could kind of pertain that to like the Sagittarius energy. Life path number 5 hates being confined, hates being like pinned down. They love freedom. They love expressing themselves freely. All about communication and being free, like free energy, like the Sagittarius energy. It can have problems not being good at commitments. It can have problems being hard to tie them down. But that's just the negatives and positives to every single sign. So number 5, freedom, Sagittarius energy. Number 6 has to do with like relationships and the unit, somebody bringing people together. It's like it's just basically relationships and marriage and just bringing people together kind of thing. Like, they can have a problem being like codependent because always wants to be around people, always wants to be in relationships, always feels a need that they have to be with somebody. It's all about bringing people together into like a unit, like a unified people, and bring them together. Usually like a family unit, so like marriage or relationship. That's life path number 6. Life path number 7, which is your boy Lil Finesse, life path number 7, which is also why I have number 7 as my logo in my YouTube channel. Also why my Instagram 25/7, 2 + 5 is 7, all that ties in. Life path number 7 is the spiritual number. They said in the Bible, God rested on the 7th day, the 7 days in the week. 7 is just like a very strong spiritual number. So if you life path number 7, you're going to be very into doing research like I do, very into esoteric or esoteric knowledge. Man, what the fuck? Esoteric knowledge. You're going to be into spirituality. You're going to be really low key as well. You're going to be really into your inner strength. It's all about being inner strength. So you're going to have a problem, or the negative is you're going to always want to be by yourself. You're going to find it hard to connect with people because you're always going to be like within yourself, trying to learn about yourself. You're very deep within yourself. Number 7 is being analytical, is being researching things, and being deep within yourself. So if you're life path number 7, you have to work on bringing out your knowledge, because you're always researching, you're very analytical, you got to bring out the knowledge to people. And that's what I do on my YouTube channel, is like I help y'all learn about yourself, because I have a complete understanding of myself because I study and I research a lot. Life path number 8 represents like power, represents being like the CEO, represents like putting yourself in positions to make a lot of money. Just it's all about power and being recognized as the boss, as a king, as a queen. Like it's all about just power, basically putting yourself in positions to be powerful. Negative side is you could be too like egotistical about yourself. You could feel like you're above everybody else because you feel like you're too powerful and all that. But like I said, I'm gonna break all these numbers down in my videos. And not lastly, but life path number 9 is the ending. Life path number 9 represents like universal love. You could put that to like the Aquarius energy. Life path number 9 is like the humanitarian. It cares about the humanity as a whole. So it's like Aquarius energy is like life path number 9. Like you could say universal love. Like it loves everybody, wants to take care of everybody, has a heart, has a caring, passionate heart for the whole collective of humanity. And now life path number 11, like I said, is an amplified life path number 2, because 1 + 1 is 2. Life path number 22 is an amplified life path number 4, because 2 + 2 is 4. And life path number 33 is an amplified life path number 6, because 3 + 3 is 6. So that was just that was very basic of just all the 12 numbers. 12 numbers, 12 signs. Is that a coincidence? No, because there's no coincidences. There's no coincidences in life. So understand that everything ties in perfectly. Like if you're really self-aware and you can see the patterns in life, you really have a good understanding of things. And this is why I love learning about this. This is why I love studying this. This is why I'm such a nerd for like information like this. Now there's a lot of YouTubers out there that have numerology videos already. You could go check them out. My personal favorite is you should go check out this goddess. Her name is Kathy. Her YouTube channel name is Soul and Vibration. She's popping as fuck. She's also at life path number 7, so you know she's very analytical and very deep. She's a Scorpio, so she's hella deep in her information, and she's a homie. So go give her some love. Soul and Vibration. I'll put her link in her YouTube channel in the description below. I definitely learned a lot from her, and she's just a cool ass person. So yeah, so I want y'all to do the math right now. I put this video out so y'all could do the math, so that when I make my series, you already know where your life path is. You're not gonna be like, how you find out your life path number? All that. I want you to do the math right now. Take your month, take your day, take your year, separate it, add up the 2 digits in your day, add up the 2 digits in your month, the 2 digits in your day, and the 4 digits in your year. Get the number, add up those 3 numbers, and that's your life path number right there. So boom. My next video is going to be on life path number 1. I'm going to start the series. So do the math. Do your own research, y'all. Make sure y'all really care about learning about yourself. Self-love is super important. Self-awareness is super important. You can't love yourself if you don't know yourself. I'm going to help y'all on this journey of self-love and self-knowledge. If you have subscribed to my channel, you already know I fuck with you heavy, for real, for real. The Jiggy Hickey, why do I keep stuttering on my words today? The Jiggy Hippie committee is growing hella crazy. I appreciate all y'all. If you're new to this channel, welcome. You're about to be put on to a lot of information that hopefully you know a little bit of, but it's not your fault if you don't know, because we have been brainwashed to not know about ourselves. But if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and handle that one time for your boy. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie. I'ma see y'all when I see y'all. Peace. Oh, chill. Drink your water. Mind your business and be safe. I'ma see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.
Okay, everybody, we back. Now, the guy laid this stuff out for you, and I'm going to briefly go over it because I got, and I want you to keep in mind that this information here that that this guy just discussed, you get this when you go to my website at tarhakadataelimination.org, and especially if you're on a cell phone, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you see the box down there. That's the way it appears on my phone, and it says join our mailing list here. You simply put in your email address. That'll come over here to me. I'll send you my free report, and along with my free report, I'm sending a file that says Numerology, Guide to a Happy Life. And in here, what he just described for you, all of the numbers are there from 1 to 9, including your power numbers, 11, 22, 33, and it goes on and on and on. And it's defined for you. Each number is defined for you right there. And that file comes along with my free report. So tarhakadataelimination.org, put your email address into the join our mailing list box and send it on over here, and then I'll rush that straight on to you. Okay? That file will be included in there, so you'll be able to deal with that. Now, you know the main saying throughout the entire land of Egypt was man know thyself. And that's why we are hosting this show tonight, part 2, Tarhaka presents relationship numbers and the Zodiac. And don't forget, if you missed part 1, go back, and it says Tarhaka presents relationship numbers and the Zodiac. And if you click on the subscribe button right there on the video, right there on YouTube, it'll take you right over there to part 1 if you are not looking at it on the social sites, because it's all over everywhere. But right there on YouTube, or you could type my name in there, YouTube, Tarhaka Amana El Bay, and those videos and stuff will come up. And you can subscribe to my channel, so whenever we're doing something, it's right there. All the latest stuff is right there for you to see. Okay, now let's look at the historicity of this stuff, where it came from, the history of tarot. So y'all hold your hat. We'll be back in a few, and we're going to lay this information out. And I have a few more things I got to talk about involving this stuff. So y'all hold on, and we're going to get right up in there. Okay? Hold on. Hold your hat.
In the Holistic Tarot Companion Course series. Let's talk tarot history, but also not really. This video lecture will cover theories of origin. Let's start with the most enduring origins myth for the tarot today, that the tarot came from Egypt. A theory took hold around the 1700s in Western Europe that the images on the tarot were fragments from the Book of Thoth, or Thoth, as the god of knowledge and wisdom's name was probably pronounced, a text or series of texts attributed to the Egyptian god Thoth, said to reveal great mysteries of the divine and of the magic wielded by the ancient Egyptian high priests. This mythical book of Thoth contained spells that would allow humans to understand the gods. At the time, Hermes was seen as the Greek equivalent to Thoth, and eventually this mythical book was referenced as the Book of Thoth Hermes. Probably didn't help matters that subsequent tarot decks like the Atea were called the Book of Thoth, or Crowley's deck, the Book of Thoth. In the 1700s, Anton Corday-Jabulon, a Freemason and lodge brother with the likes of Benjamin Franklin and Voltaire, was a well-respected thinker of his time, and so whatever he had to say or publish held weight because of his social standing. The story goes that Corday-Jabulon was in a salon in Paris when he saw tarot cards, and somehow it was revealed to him that these cards contained the secrets of the Egyptian magi. In the World card, depicting the angel of the prime movements, an allegorical depiction of transcendence from the material, a Gnostic concept, Anton Corday-Jabulon believed he saw a great secret revealed, that the Neoplatonic monad was the grand architect of the universe, and that was the secret revealed by the tarot arcana. He wrote one chapter in Le Monde Primitif, citing Comte de Melt to claim that the numerological and letter correspondences in the tarot deck held the secret meanings traced back to the Egyptian Book of Thoth. He reconstructed a tarot history of origins, and because he was kind of a big deal, his theory stuck. He elevated the visibility and popularity of the tarot. Eventually, several Freemasons' documented fascination with the tarot led to the speculation that the tarot contained the secrets of the Freemasons as inherited from the Templars. What? Yeah, let's get into that. On screen are some cards from the Minchiadi. The Gnostic movement of the Cathars took place around the 1100s and 1500s in northern Italy and southern France, concentrating among the artisans, craftsmen, and merchant class, among whom would have been the artists commissioned to paint tarot cards for the nobles. This region also corresponds directly with Florence and Marseille. Cathars can be traced back to the early Gnostics and Manichaeans, a particular sect of Gnostic beliefs that syncretized Zoroastrianism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism. These Gnostic beliefs were a common tie between the Cathars and the Templars. Arthur Edward Waite himself has written, quote, "Visions of Christian Gnosticism, Manichaeism, and the pure primitive gospel shine behind the pictures," end quote, of the tarot. The 14th century marked when tarot began, says Waite, and also marked the demise of the Cathars. And maybe, just maybe, the Cathars, these artisans, encoded their secret doctrines into the tarot to preserve these mysteries. If you're in...
Okay. All right. Well, that's just a little brief synopsis. But what we want to do is we want to get down and define for you the meaning of the cards. I mean, if you get a 10 of Pentacles, if you get Ace of Wands, 7 of Cups, the Fool card, the Hierophant, what does those cards mean? What is the meaning of each card? We want to go through these things, and we want to look at the meaning of each card so you know what you're dealing with. Now, we have a sister here, and she put out a fine bit of piece of information, and I thought that I'd bring this to you so you can go through the deck and we can find out the meaning of these cards. So you'll be, for those of you who are totally unfamiliar with this science, you can look at it. I want to give you a brief breakdown on the historicity of where this stuff comes from. And like I told you, this stuff, it came from you, came from your ancestors. Man knows thyself, came out of Egypt. Okay, even though they're trying to attribute it to coming from somewhere else and trying to put someone else on the map who had no knowledge by giving them your sciences and telling you, well, this person here, they in Babylon, they did this, and the Greeks did that, and garbage. Okay, that's garbage. This your stuff. It came from you. Okay, so y'all hold on a minute. Let's rock and roll.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. If it's your first time seeing me, go ahead and like this video because I know you're going to like it already. Subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you never miss another upload. And if you already are subscribed, then hey girl, welcome back. So today guys, we are going to be going through all of the meanings of the tarot cards. I have been wanting to do this video for a while. I've been waiting to do this video for a while, so I decided today, girl, why not? So we're going to get into all of the tarot card meanings, and y'all know I talk fast and I get right to the point, so this is not going to be a long video by a long shot. I don't think it's going to be that long, but yeah, I have all of the cards laid out in front of me, so we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. So if you're a beginner, I think this is going to be a really good reference video for you to just, know the meanings of the cards really quickly on the tip of your feet or whatever the case is. If you just want the explanations, just like a little, reference tool. And if anybody wants to put the timestamps down below for the different suits, then thank you if anybody wants to do that. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. If you're ready to see all of the meanings of the tarot cards, then keep on watching. So we are going to be using the Rider-Waite tarot deck to go through today, guys, okay? This tarot deck is essentially the basic one, basically. Like, whenever you get started, typically people recommend getting this card because the images on these cards are typically what every other tarot deck is based off of, unless they have a certain theme. But most decks have the same kind of imagery and the same kind of theme as this original deck. A tarot deck has 78 cards, okay? There's two groups, basically. A major arcana, which is 22 cards. That's the heavier energy. The more kind of like in a spread, the major arcana cards would be the really big signs, the really big messages, or like the subject matter, and everything else will kind of be like details supporting that. So we have 4 suits: cups, wands, pentacles, and swords. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the major arcana first, and then we'll get into the suits. So first we have the Fool. Okay, the Fool talks about taking a risk, starting a new beginning. This could be a new job, a new love, taking a risk. Also, the Fool is literally someone about to walk off a cliff, okay? This is somebody just about to try something new, take a risk. They're not worried about, the expectations, maybe walking into something blindly. So this energy can kind of be a good thing or a bad thing, but this is risky energy, taking a new risk and having new beginnings. We have the Magician. The Magician is all about being a very powerful manifester. Also, the energy of using all of your tools for your benefit, okay? So beautiful energy. This person has on a table the wands, the cups, the pentacles. Please excuse my nails, y'all, but they have on the table the wands, the cups, the pentacles, the swords, all of the elements of the tarot, and they are mastering those elements. So yes, we have the Magician, then we have the High Priestess. Beautiful, divine, feminine energy, a lot of reflection, not being afraid to, look at the hard answers and do the work. Also the energy of sitting in your intuition and trusting your divine feminine energy. So very beautiful with the High Priestess. The Empress, okay, this is mothering energy, nurturing energy, again, divine feminine. Someone just offering a lot of love, a lot of beautiful energy. This is typically a matriarch energy as well. So the Empress, also fertility, okay? My phone literally just crashed, okay? So next we have the Emperor. So you have the Emperor and the Empress. Okay, so the Emperor, this is about someone offering someone an opportunity, someone that values a lot of family. Typically, if you're ever doing a love reading and you have the Emperor and the Empress come out together, it's beautiful energy about this divine couple, okay? So yes, again, the Emperor is someone typically offering you a job or a position, someone that cares about leadership, someone who is, like in control, someone who's a boss, so that's the Emperor energy, okay? Next, we have the Hierophant, okay? The Hierophant is all about your spiritual belief, your spiritual journey, traditional beliefs, traditional values. Typically someone or the energy of just feeling very secure in your beliefs and in your spiritual values. We have the Lovers, okay? Beautiful divine energy about a beautiful couple coming together, energies that are really supporting each other. This just talks about perfect divine harmony, okay? The Lovers, very good, of course, in any reading, especially love readings, of course. Then we have the Chariot. The Chariot is all about progression, all about moving forward, all about elevation. This in love readings talks about maintaining your independence in a relationship. Okay, Incense really fucking with us. Okay, but anyway, yeah, the Chariot is all about maintaining your independence in relationships, being who you are regardless and maintaining that progression. Okay, so very beautiful energy for the Chariot. Next we have Strength. Okay, Leo energy, holla. But yes, we have Strength. Okay, a reminder that you are strong. Just this, energy of conquering those things that you're afraid of and, being strong. A reminder that you have a lot of strength within you. We have the Hermit. okay, going within, recluse energy, seclusion. This is the energy of wanting to go within and looking for answers. This person has a little lamp with them, so they're going within to do the reflection, to do the answers. Now, hermit energy could kind of be either good or bad. Typically, it's good because we're going within, you know, to do the work, to figure out things that we need to know. But also, sometimes we can get isolated or just get a little too sad in those hermit spots. So we need to be aware of the hermit energy sometimes. But hermit energy is all about going within, taking some time for you, and just looking for answers, maybe even being a little stressed out. But you're really taking some time for you and doing some reflecting. Okay, then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is the 10th card in the major arcana. And the 10th card is all, well, 10 in general is all about completion. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune is about, you know, good luck, being, you know, on a good path, having a lot of divine blessings around you. This is just a beautiful card about good luck. You're doing the good thing. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Prosperity is yours and it is surrounding you, okay? We have Justice. Okay, Justice is all about making sure that things are fair, withholding balance in a situation, being the judge and the jury in this place, making sure that things are running smoothly with this Justice energy, taking control of the situation, you being the one mediating a situation. We have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is a new perspective. The Hanged Man is a new spiritual journey, surrender, freedom, releasing yourself to the universe and allowing the universe to do the work, okay? We have the Hanged Man. Then we have Death, okay? Death is all about a new start. Death is about a fresh beginning, also the ending of something. Death can literally mean a death. Sometimes this can mean that someone has experienced a death or gone through a death. But death, you know, isn't always a bad card. This is typically something beautiful. It's about a new beginning. It's about eternal life. You know, typically on death cards, we have someone, you know, passing away, but you can still see their beautiful energy protecting you. You know, this is about, you know, like we have this skull person on this bike or whatever, but we have the sun in the background. You know, we still have some light coming over. So this talks about a new day regardless. So Death. We have a Death card. We also have Temperance. Talks about patience, not thinking about time, not worrying about time. Of course, patient energy. Also mediating energies, being able to kind of settle differences and being able to appreciate the differences in others. So Temperance. We have the Devil. Okay, this is all about a blockage. This is all about negativity, the energy of kind of doing the wrong thing and just kind of enjoying it. Honestly, being settled in a place where we know isn't helping us. This is all about negative energy and a blockage, okay? The devil doesn't necessarily mean like demons or nothing crazy. We all have our own personal demons. So I guess, yeah, you could say that. But this isn't like, you know, exorcism energy. Like people see the devil and be like, oh my God. It's just talking about negativity, honestly. Anything can be a devil to you if you let it. So that is the Devil card. We also have the Tower. Okay, the Tower talks about a big change, a huge moment. I talk about tower moments often. Tower moments are just something that changes the trajectory of your life. This could be a marriage, it could be a death, it could be a birth, it could be you losing a job, it could be you getting a job, it could be a relationship ending or one starting. This is just about something big, a major change coming. This is Tower. Then we have the Star. This is beautiful energy about being a guiding light to others, being the star to others, also having a lot of love to pour into others. We have all of this water on this card, okay? Water represents beautiful love energy. We're going to see that when we get to the cups, okay? But yes, beautiful energy with the Star, offering a lot of love. Then we have the Moon, okay? The Moon is about confusion, and this is the energy about being confused, but the answers are kind of right in front of us, because remember, we look to a full moon especially for answers, for wisdom, for reflection. So why are we thinking about being confused when we got the full moon right at us? You know what I'm saying? So we have the answers here with this moon energy. We just are confused and looking in all the wrong places, but the answers are really in front of us with that moon energy. Then we have the sun, okay, being bright, being vibrant, being a light, you know, allowing others to see you as the sun shining in this radiant, beautiful sun energy, a lot of positivity with the sun. Then we have judgment, making a mandatory decision, choosing to walk in the light or walk in the darkness. Typically when we get the judgment card, it's about, okay, we either gonna do this or we ain't gonna do it. In a relationship, it's like we're either gonna be together or we're not. You know, you're at a crossroads. You're either gonna do it or you're not. You're all in or you're completely out. Okay, so making a judgment. And then we have the World. The World talks about completion. This is the last major arcana card, okay? So this talks about completion. Also talks about things coming full circle and reaping a very big reward. Also divine collaboration, all elements coming together to make something beautiful. So yes, we have the World. Okay, next guys, we can get into the cup suit. I'm not going in any particular order here, but let's just get into the cups. Cups typically talks about emotions, love, emotional availability. Water is all about emotional energy, okay? And these cards also relate to water signs. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we have the Ace of Cups, okay? This is a new relationship, a new friendship, a new reason to celebrate, a new reason to be thankful, you know, something new and beautiful coming into your life. This also talks about a new beginning in love. So typically, if this comes up in a love reading, someone's about to get a new start in love, they're about to have their love reinvigorated, or they're about to have somebody new coming in love, okay? This is a newness in love, the Ace of Cups. Then we have the Two of Cups. A beautiful partnership, a divine partnership. This is similar to the Lover's energy, okay? But Lover's energy is like this times a million, okay? But yes, the Two of Cups. This is all about divine partnership and even energy exchange as well. Being with someone and they are pouring in just as much energy as you are, and you guys are just balancing off of each other's vibrations very, very well. So the Two of Cups. We have the Three of Cups. This talks about friendship, enjoying time with friends, family, socializing. Also, this can talk about cheating, three being a cup, three being a crowd. Also, the energy of just, you know, a mutual person coming in and messing something up, like somebody from the outside destroying something in a partnership, like all the cards do. But this is definitely either a friendship and having a good time, or three people being too much because somebody is where they don't need to be, okay? So that's the Three of Cups. And we have the Four of Cups, okay? This is all about focusing on the love that is lost and not being able to look at the love in front of us, okay? This is the energy of going within after a breakup, after losing a loss, after experiencing an L, just wanting to go within. But we need to remember that there is still love around us. So when this card comes up, it's like, okay, we could be sad, we could be a little down about this, but we need to get ourselves up, okay, and get it together because we still have some love around us, okay? We have the Five of Cups. This is all about just being completely down about the love that we've lost, but there is still some hope behind us. Again, kind of the same energy as the Four of Cups, but this is about grief. This is about a deeper sadness, okay? This Four of Cups is just about pouting a little bit. This person is in mourning, like they are grieving over these cups right here. So this is the same energy. There still is a brighter day and there still is a new chance. So pick yourself up, okay? Five of Cups. Then we have the Six of Cups. This is all about your past, your childhood, nostalgia, someone coming back from your past and childlike energies. The Seven of Cups is a reminder to focus back on reality, okay? Doing a lot of daydreaming, but needing to pay attention to what's going on in front of us, okay? We have the Eight of Cups. This is all about wanting a change, wanting some newness, leaving behind some drama, leaving behind some chaos, some clutter, and walking into a new start. Wanting a new start in love, wanting a new start in something. Deciding this isn't for me. I'm going to walk into what is, okay? So the Eight of Cups. Then we have the Nine of Cups, okay, satisfaction, enjoying time with friends, family, having a good time, a very good time in love. The Ten of Cups is literally a fucking fairy tale. This is the energy of getting the love that you've been waiting on, getting the love that you've been wanting to tap into, okay, beautiful energy about finally having things come full circle in love. Then we have the Page of Cups, okay? This is about someone trying to impress you, but the Page is typically teenage energy. So this is someone that's kind of immature, someone that's basically thinking of whatever they can do to try to impress you. Like this person has a fish in a cup. Like whatever they can do to try to, you know, impress you, they're going to try to do it. So this is the energy of someone coming to you, trying to impress you in love. Also love that you manifested. Like if you've been manifesting somebody that's just crazy about you and just creative in your love and spontaneous in your love, this person is definitely on the way. We have the Knight of Cups. Okay, soulmate energy, fate energy. This is the energy of someone trying to serenade you in love, someone trying to prove something to you in love, someone really trying to dedicate, you know, their lives to you. This is somebody that feels like you are their soulmate. Okay, so beautiful energy when we have the Knight of Cups coming in, okay? Then we have the Queen of Cups, okay? This is divine feminine energy once again. The Queen of Cups is about having so much love to give, having such a big heart. You're just giving freely, giving openly to whoever you feel like needs some love, okay? You're not worried about getting it back to you. You just giving because you love to give. So giving a lot of love. And then we have the King of Cups, okay? This is daddy energy, okay? This is somebody with a lot of love to give, a man that's very, you know, emotionally sound, someone that's just ready to give love. They're ready to stop playing, okay? This person is ready to give a lot of love, offer a lot of support as well. So this is the King of Cups. Next, we can get into the Wands suit. Okay, this is about fire energy. Also, the Wands is about your creative energy, your creativity, your passions, fiery energy. Okay, let's get into it. We have the Ace of Wands. This talks about a blank canvas, a new fresh start, new inspiration, new creative energies coming in. So very, very beautiful. About a new spark as well, some new excitement coming in. Then we have the Two of Wands, okay? The Two of Wands is all about getting your flowers, all about getting the recognition you deserve, having people cheer you on, shining in your passions, okay, and having others see that and support you in that. We have the Three of Wands. This is all about teamwork, moving forward, going on a journey together, supporting others on a journey, a lot of teamwork, okay? Then we have the Four of Wands. This is all about satisfaction, partying, having a good time, celebration, drinking, living it up, okay? We are having a good time with the Four of Wands. Then we have the Five of Wands, okay? This is about chaos, confusion, rah-rah, drama, people fighting. You see people on here fighting with sticks, girl. People just fighting, okay? A lot of drama with the Five of Wands. We have the Six of Wands. This is all about success. It's all about progression. It's all about finishing a race. You know, working for something very, very hard and finishing the race, crossing the finish line. Success, okay? And then we have the Seven of Wands. This is about having up boundaries, having your walls up, having your guard up, speaking your truth as well, and standing on your own, okay? The Eight of Wands is about a quickly moving change, a lot of travel, air travel, moving into one home from another. And a love reading, this could talk about traveling to see someone. I don't know why I keep thinking about little love reading things, but traveling to see someone in work. This could be about relocating or whatever the case may be. So yes, the Eight of Wands is all about movement, a lot of progression, things taking off very, very quickly. The Nine of Wands is all about resilience, okay, being very, very strong. This is the energy of going through a lot of pain, experiencing a lot of, wounds, being a little busted up, but you're still making it to the end, okay? You are still going and pressing forward with that Nine of Wands energy. Then we have the Ten of Wands, okay? This person is carrying all of these burdens by themselves. A lot of stress, the energy of perfection, the energy of feeling like you have to be perfect, like you have to do everything alone. So this is a lot of stress with the Ten of Wands energy. Then we have the Page of Wands, okay? New creative discovery, new creative outlets, discovering new things. Again, this is teenager energy. So being very, being excited about the things you're discovering, telling all your friends about it. A lot of excitement and discovery. I don't know what's going on, child. This is the third time that this video has been interrupted. But anyway, so we have the Knight of Wands. This is all about moving forward, going after what you want. Also being cheered on by your friends and family. So people are cheering you on as you are going forward with this adventurous energy. Then we have the Queen of Wands, okay? This is my girl. The Queen of Wands is all about being a social butterfly, being very, very beautiful, being very radiant, people cheering you on, people just seeing you like, oh my God, you're amazing. Being a social butterfly, being very good with networking, being very good with other people, just the queen of that fire energy. So we have the Queen of Wands. Then we have the King of Wands, okay? This is all about coming a very, very long way, beating the odds, being an inspiration. So a lot of very strong energy with this King of Wands. Next, we have the Swords suit. Okay, the Swords is all about mental things, knowledge, wisdom, intellect, your mental state, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get into the Swords, all about the mind, okay? Also air signs as well. So we have the Ace of Swords, okay? This is new discovery, new knowledge, new wisdom coming in, just new knowledge, new wisdom, new intellect, okay? Then we have the Two of Swords. This is the energy of avoiding something, okay? Being in denial, not wanting to look at something, not wanting to focus on it. Also, with this blindfold and these two swords, this gives me the energy as well of something that you're going to have to deal with. Like, you can't avoid this. You're just acting like you're not going to pay attention to it, but you can't avoid this energy, okay? So we have the Two of Swords here, avoidance energy. Then we have the Three of Swords, heartbreak, quite simply. Heartbreak, losing a lot of love, just experiencing a lot of heartbreak and a lot of pain. There's three swords through this heart. So this is extreme heartbreak, okay? We have the Four of Swords. This is restful energy, grounding energy, taking a break, doing some meditation, relaxing, taking some time for you. We have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is all about confrontation, all about the energy of someone feeling like they should be able to control you, controlling energy, stubborn energy, selfish energy, a lot of rah-rah, okay? The energy also of someone who kind of wants to keep going at it, okay? Then we have the Six of Swords, okay? This is all about new energy, walking into a new start, starting something new, but needing to leave baggage behind. You cannot take baggage with you onto some new areas, okay? So this is about leaving that baggage behind and starting something new and beautiful. We have the Seven of Swords. This is all about betrayal energy, sneaky energy, somebody being sneaky as hell, somebody stealing, somebody acting strategically, just people around you trying to betray you, trying to take what you got, trying to get in where they fit in, okay? Very, very sneaky energy. We have the Eight of Swords, okay? This is all about being trapped in your mind, letting yourself be trapped by anxiety and stress. You have the power, though, in this situation to let yourself free, but you're allowing yourself to stay trapped and stay helpless. So you can let yourself out of this Eight of Swords, but you're letting yourself stay trapped with that energy. Then we have the Nine of Swords. Again, stress, a lot of worry, being up all night, having nightmares. dealing with a lot of stress to where it's keeping you up at night. Then we have the Ten of Swords. This is about going through a lot of pain, experiencing a lot of pain, but the end of a painful cycle, the end of this pain. Okay, this person is on the ground, stabbed in their back a bunch of times, but there's nothing else you can do to this person. They done. So it's the energy of being done with the pain, okay? Then we have the Page of Swords. This is curious energy. Typically also, this could be people looking at your social media, people trying to figure out about you. So people are curious about you. This also talks about new discovery. So new discovery and curiosity. We have the Knight of Swords. This is someone who's very sure of themselves, someone who is just moving forward, kind of impulsive. Other people might be like, what is you doing? You know, somebody that's taking risks. But this person is sure of themselves and feels like they have all the answers. We have the Queen of Swords, someone who's very, very educated, someone who knows what they want, someone who isn't going to play any games. This person is educated. This person has a lot of divine energy. This person is cutting off who ain't serving them. Okay, the Queen of Swords is beautiful, educated energy with clear, non-biased judgment. And then we have the King of Swords. Okay, this is about feeling like you have all the answers, being judge, being juror, being in total authority. Okay, so sitting in total authority. This king is up here with this big ass sword, girl. Ain't nobody about to play with him. So the King of Swords, okay, having all of the wisdom, being the king, being king know-it-all, okay, and not being afraid to let people know that. All right, guys, so the last suit that we have, I don't know if I thought this was going to be as strenuous as it has been, but this has been exhausting. Especially, girl, ooh, that water is good, especially because I had to start filming 3 times extra because I kept getting interrupted. This is crazy. But anyway, we're about to finish off with the Pentacles suit. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. First off, we're going to finish off with this suit. If anybody wants to book any readings with me, you guys can book them at the description box below. My website is there. Also, my Instagram is there. The Facebook is there where I do live readings in the morning and some nights. So yes, you guys can check out that if you're interested. But let's go ahead and finish with the Ace of Pentacles. And I do thank you guys for checking me out today. So the Pentacles is all about money. The Pentacles is all about earthly possessions, material things, things that we can put our hands on, okay? So material things. Also, the Pentacles are earth sign energy, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. We have the Ace of Pentacles. This talks about building a solid foundation, building a new start, having a new start. This could be a new job, a raise, a promotion, having a solid foundation, okay? Your abundance being very, very solid for you. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. This talks about balance, multitasking, juggling, possibly a new stream of income, just being able to multitask on the job. We have the Three of Pentacles, which talks about divine collaboration, people working very, very well together. So a lot of networking that's very, very abundant for you in work. We have the Four of Pentacles. This is all about wanting to keep your value very close to you, the things that you hold close to you and important to you. You're keeping those things close. In love, this can mean that you're keeping your heart close to you and you're not trying to let people in, to your heart. So this is about holding what's close to you very, very sacred. So security, also saving, so saving your money. Then we have the Five of Pentacles, okay? This is all about experiencing poverty, just poverty, honestly, not having nothing. Also, there's another card where it's kind of like you're on the outside looking in, like you could have lost the job or, you remember what it was like to have a lot. So now that you lost everything, you feel some type of way. But this is just poverty energy, okay? Then we have the Six of Pentacles. Charitable energy, generous energy, offering a lot of love to others, offering a lot of divine energy, and having people give that energy right back to you. So you offering people love and energy, and it's coming right back to you, okay? So charity. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, this is all about investments, thinking about where you're spending your time, where you're spending your money, thinking about the long-term decision, long-term planning. We have the Eight of Pentacles. This is all about mastering skills. This is also the energy of apprenticeship, okay, working with other people, allowing other people to teach you so you can teach someone else. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles, okay, this is my girl. Also, my third playlist that I'm about to drop, girl, is called Nine of Pentacles. Also, I have my Apple Music in the description box below if you guys want to check out my playlist, because I release playlists that I make for you guys. So yeah, they're in the description box if you want to check out if you got Apple Music. But yeah, so we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is about living in luxury, okay, being financially independent, not needing nobody, doing damn good by yourself, okay? So beautiful energy about living a life of luxury and just being financially independent. So beautiful. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. This is about financial blessings, financial wealth, having a lot of generational wealth, having a lot of money to go around, enjoying times with friends and family because y'all are abundant. Y'all got some money, honey. So generational wealth. We have the Page of Pentacles again. This is teenager energy. So this is about, you know, getting a new job, starting a new hobby, starting from the basics, learning something new. So something new coming in that's bringing you some abundance. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is all about having tunnel vision, being very focused on your journey, very focused on a bag. You ain't thinking about nothing else or looking at nothing else. You focus on getting to the coin, okay? We also have the Queen of Pentacles. This is all about providing for your family, okay? Making a lot of coin, but making it on your own and providing for your family. Also passing down wisdom, okay? So being the matriarch of the money. Very, very beautiful. And then we have the King of Pentacles. This is about an inheritance. Also the energy of reaping what you are sowing. So you've been sowing, you've been working very hard, and now you're reaping a very big harvest. Also the energy of generational wealth as well. So having coin that we're passing down. So yes, that was the description of all of the cards. I did not think that that was going to be as exhausting as it was, but I hope you guys like this video. And, you know, I hope that this video can be a little reference, you know, tool for you guys, help you guys, and that you'll be able to use this on your journey. I love you guys as always. Thank you for being here. Of course, again, if anybody's interested in booking private sessions with me, you can do so by looking in the description box down below. I love you guys as always, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Bless.
All right, everybody, we're back. We're going to take a little quick break, and when we come back, we'll go down into some more because I got some stuff I need to add, and we got to deal with the autumn equinox and the spring equinoxes and stuff, and there's some more that we're going to have to learn about the African astrology. So y'all hold your hat, and we will be right back.
we're going to be experiencing our autumn equinox in a couple days, on the 20th of March to be specific. The autumn equinox occurs on the 20th of March. This year we have it at 11:37 a.m. South African Standard Time. So in honor of it and in celebration of it, I'd like to do a quick breakdown of what it is exactly and how to align with it, what makes it important, why we should know about it, why we should understand it, and how it is that we can align with it. Because if you watch my videos, you know that I'm really big on alignment. It's the most fundamental lesson that I'm always learning from my ancestors, from my guides, from my teachers, from nature, because ultimately nothing can be achieved when one is out of alignment. So the autumn equinox, put as simply as possible, is the first day of the autumn season. The autumn equinox for us in the southern hemisphere is when the sun crosses the equator, moving from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere. While we're having our autumn equinox, the northern hemisphere is simultaneously having their spring equinox, their new year. It's the first day of autumn for us and the first day of spring for them, which makes it their new year, the true new year. Just as our true new year is technically on the 22nd of September, or the 21st to the 23rd, between that period, depending on the year. Their new year is on the 20th of March, on their spring equinox, because the beginning of spring marks the beginning of a new year. Historically, the Northern Hemisphere always celebrated their new year on the 20th of March before Julius Caesar changed it, along with a bunch of other changes that he made to the calendar to suit his own agenda. And of course, Africa is always dragged into whatever nonsense is happening in first world countries, so we now also celebrate our new year on the 1st of January, even though it makes no sense technically, scientifically, or spiritually. After he made the changes, New Year was no longer celebrated on the 20th of March in the Northern Hemisphere, and so the term April Fools was coined to mock people who continue to celebrate New Year's in late March. So that's where the term April Fools comes from. So in the Northern Hemisphere, they also refer to the autumn equinox as the fall equinox, because it marks the beginning of the season that they refer to as fall. We usually just use the term autumn. I think they also say autumn in the UK. I'm not sure. They also sometimes refer to it as the September equinox, obviously because it falls in September for them. I've never really heard anyone in the Southern Hemisphere refer to it as the March equinox, mostly because I never hear people talk about the equinoxes anyway, but I guess we'd otherwise refer to it as the March equinox. But I really like the term fall equinox actually, because it kind of captures the essence of the spiritual energy of the season. Because not only do the leaves fall in that season, but the daylight falls earlier and earlier, the deeper into the season that we go, until we reach the point of minimum daylight in the winter solstice. The word equinox, which I think I've mentioned in the spring equinox video, is derived from Latin. Equa meaning equal and nox meaning night, because the equinox is the only time of the year where the length of the day is equal to the length of the night. And this occurs twice a year, at the spring equinox and the fall equinox. These are the only 2 days in the year where the ecliptic equator and the celestial equator converge. For us in the southern hemisphere, the autumn equinox is the day when the North Pole begins to tilt towards the sun, shifting us further away from the sun's rays, giving us shorter days and longer nights thereafter. The Great Pyramids of Giza were built in alignment with what we now call Orion's Belt, which is associated with Osiris, which was originally referred to as Asa by our ancestors in Kemet, which essentially means that those pyramids are monuments of Asa. The spring equinox for both the southern and the northern hemisphere align the sun with the pyramids of Giza, marking the new year for both hemispheres, although this happens on 2 separate equinoxes for the northern and the southern hemisphere. So each equinox essentially either marks a new year or the halfway point of a year. So the sun aligns with the pyramids on both the spring equinox and the fall equinox. In Kemet, they had lined the Great Pyramids of Giza with moonstone that would catch the sun's rays directly during the equinoxes, and the crystal would reflect a light that would shine for thousands of miles, marking the time of equinox. Not to be repetitive, because I know I've mentioned this in the spring equinox video as well, but there are tons of sites around the world built in honor or to mark the equinoxes and the solstices. Machu Picchu in Peru has the Intihuatana stone, which is a precise indicator of the date of the two equinoxes. Intihuatana directly translated to English means foretying the sun. I would list a few more, but I don't want to be too repetitive. You can check out the spring equinox video for more information on more sites around the world that mark the equinoxes. The Great Pyramids of Giza are the grandest site of this nature in the world, still being studied to this day. So when the fall equinox occurs, what's happening is that we're transitioning from the season of Gep to the season of Osset. I will explain the nature of both seasons in upcoming videos. In more mainstream terms, we're moving from the season of Virgo to the season of Libra. The fall equinox marks the beginning of the Osset/Libra season. And Osset season begins the journey of shorter days and longer nights. This is where we begin to experience the darkness of winter. Although I do have to say that period of darkness is not as drastic in southern Africa because of where we're placed on the Earth's axis. There are places that experience much longer nights and a much colder climate. So spiritually, the fall equinox marks the day of departure between Asa and Osset. And these two lovebirds are represented in many spiritual cultures by the sun and the moon. The most important thing to remember here is that Kemetic spirituality always likened every occurrence in nature to the cycle of creation, because everything on earth is in a constant cycle of death and rebirth. This cycle is perpetuated in nature and therefore in the spiritual system of the gods. All aspects of it can be found within the deity system that is detailed in the creation story. The creation story narrates the family of the 9 gods in Heliopolis that I speak about in the creation story video. The story narrates the demise and death of Asa and the mourning of his wife Osset and her sister Nephthys before the two sisters resurrect him and his spirit returns to them and to the land of Kemet. So this period, the autumn equinox or the fall equinox, marks the death of Asa and the mourning of Osset. This is a time where we tend to see a lot of heavy rains, and those rains in a lot of our African spiritual cultures and our ancient spiritual cultures would represent the tears of Osset, and the extended darkness would be a consequence of his departure. And the general period of darkness throughout fall, throughout winter, would be used as a time of regeneration, reflection, shadow work, just immense and crucial spiritual transformation. The energy of this equinox is quite opposite to the spring equinox. It's not really a time to party. Also physically, like we can feel it in the climate, it's more funerally than celebratory. Asa was often referred to as the green god in Kemet, but this is a time when he transitioned from being the green god to being the black god. In Kemetic scripture, he basically becomes a shadow, and reflected upon the individual, it represents our own shadows. And by shadow, I mean the hidden parts of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that we keep in the darkness. So this is the time to essentially retreat into that darkness, to nurture those parts of ourselves, to heal them, to learn more about them, to nurture them and to heal them. This withdrawal period was written about in Kemet and Kemetic scripture as a return to the creative forces, to source, a return to source, withdrawing from the outside world to go within. That kind of spiritual isolation acts as a compass to finding your path. It's a regeneration of the mind, body, and soul. Generally, if you're looking to tap into the energy of this equinox, some of the physical tools that were used according to ancient rituals were crystals like lapis lazuli, turquoise. They also used alabaster. They used gold and silver, and the incense that they used was myrrh. These were the main items that were placed on the altar, as well as 2 bowls of water and a fresh loaf of bread. So if you have an altar, or even better, if you have a collective altar for the family, these are some of the things that can go on there to align with the energy of this cosmic event. You can also check out the Sacred Magic of Ancient Egypt to get more details on this ceremony and other ceremonies and rituals and events, solar events, cosmic events. That book, and I always say this, it's an extensive guide of the science of Kemetic spirituality. I love it. It's one of my main references forever and always. I've learned so much from it, and I highly recommend it for everybody. But to put it quite simply, the fall equinox isn't something that's complicated to prepare for. Because of the nature of the cosmic event, it's a really good day to simply relax and have dinner with the family or on your own. It does carry the energy of isolation and calm and reflection and healing. It's a really great time to withdraw and focus on what it is that you need to heal, what it is that your mind needs to heal, what your body needs to heal, what your spirit is in need of to heal. It's a really good time to withdraw away from friends. It's got that hermit energy. For those of you who like tarot, this is a time that carries a lot of hermit energy, and that's one of my favorite cards in the tarot deck, because hermit energy is immensely healing, because that is an energy that removes distractions and it removes influence. It's about you and who you are, finding yourself again, remembering who you are, uncovering parts of yourself maybe that have been dormant for a while, getting back into old hobbies that used to bring you joy, zoning in on the things that you love that maybe you've neglected because they haven't really fit into your social life or your work life. It's about coming back to yourself and prioritizing yourself and prioritizing your mind, body, and soul, what it is that you need to heal and to fall in love with life again. It's about stopping and reevaluating your reason for living. What is it that keeps you going? What is it that motivates you? I generally love to spend this time alone. I go into deep hermit mode. This is when I do most of my thinking and reflecting, and this is the time that allows me to take a few steps back, recuperate, and plan for the future. My only and main advice in this time is to take it easy. Don't force things. This is the time that it kind of forces you to take a few steps back, and it's got like that Mercury retrograde energy that forces you to take a few steps back. The energy supports you taking a few steps back, which then allows you to have the momentum to launch yourself forward. So don't fight it, just surrender to it and allow it to do its thing, because ultimately if you are in alignment, or if you're working towards aligning, then everything is working together in your favor all the time. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I will see you in the next video very soon. Lots of love, lots of light. Take care of yourself. Bye.
All right, everybody, we're back. We dealt with the autumn equinox. And keep in mind now that within 3 days from now, we will arrive in Virgo season. It'll be time for the Virgos now. We are coming to the close of the Leo season. We'll be going into the Virgo season. But before we get on with the spring equinox and get on with the rest of this information that I got to bring out, in our previous broadcast, we dealt with the Zodiac and the month you live, which is Virgo, Taurus, Aries, Scorpio, Sagittarius, so on and so forth. And then we dealt with the 12 signs that govern the year of your birth. And we all know what animals the year represents and stuff. And it's easy for me to keep up with this by just taking what's out there, involving this information, and looking at the history of the information, actually use the science. And this is, we're not talking about beliefs. We're talking about science and the stuff we put a finger on that we can actually use and stuff. And of course, numbers don't lie. You know, you don't have to just believe. We want to get rid of that. We want to do what we know for a fact and we can prove, and lay it down and sit back and watch the results. Now, we'll be moving into Virgo season. You got to keep in mind now, especially when you come to the Zodiac and you come to your numerology, a lot of time we say, well, okay, I'm a Leo, and I'm a Virgo, I'm a Cancer, I'm a Taurus, I'm a Aries, and the person that I'm interested in, I'm looking at the monthly sign, and we're compatible there, and I'm looking at the yearly sign, and we're compatible there. But what we want to do at this point is we want to take you and deal with the month, the day, and the year. When I add all these numbers up and get your life path number, reduce it to its final number, get the life path number, and we want to do the same for the person that you're interested in. And keep in mind, if you are a 9 life path number, then your numbers are 3, 6, and 9. These are the numbers you're looking for to be your most harmonious numbers. And if you are a 3 life path, then it's 3, 6, 9. If you are 6, then it's 3, 6, 9. So if you do the math on that and you come up with any other number outside of 3, 6, 9, mission control, we have a problem. I know the month is right and the year is right and all that, but you have to pay close attention now, because you might have a 5, you might have a 1, you might have a 4, you might have an 8, you might have a 7, and you're gonna have problems up in there because the math ain't right. So, excuse me. We want to make sure that we have all the cylinders firing on the right thing, because it's, you got, I mean, you probably get along with one another pretty good, but they're gonna be hiccups in there, and you want to say, well, wow, this is, something ain't right, something ain't right. So you make sure you want to get it right all the way across the board. You want the numbers in there, and take a look at them tarot cards and see what it's saying, and get a glimpse into the future and stuff. This is before you invest. Before you invest your time, your energy, your money, your life, and all of this stuff, we want to get this information right. Okay, we don't want to get in a position where, I'm in this stuff, I'm trying to fix it, I'm going to make the best I can do with it. Because this is what happens to a lot of people. A lot of us, we be infatuated, both parties wearing a mask, and come live with me is not like come visit me, ain't like come live with me. Or either you get married, then you off to go in the military, and you spend most of your life traveling. You overseas, you in this state, you in that state, you in this country, you in that country, and now it's time for you to be retired, and you come home to live happily ever after with your bride, but y'all can't get along for 24 hours. So, well, do the math. Oh, I mean, this thing ain't funny because it's very, very serious, but it tickled me. I guess I'm laughing because I know better by now. And the reason I know better because I've already been through it. And so I know what not to do these days, okay? We're going to take a break and go into the spring equinox. So y'all hold on now. Let's get this thing right. Stop running around here in the dead of winter in January telling people Happy New Year. They'll tell you about that April Fool business. Anyway,
hi everybody, I'm Zanimvula and you're watching Girlboss SA YouTube, and today we're talking about the spring equinox. The spring equinox is what marks the beginning of spring. The spring equinox is on its way. The spring equinox usually occurs between the 20th and the 22nd of September. The reasons we do things like say spring day is on the 1st of September is because we've been taken so out of alignment with our actual calendar and we don't really know when things occur. Understanding the equinox starts with understanding basically the etymology of the word. Equa means equal and nox is night. During the spring equinox, the Earth's axis doesn't point away from or towards the sun, which means that the northern and the southern hemisphere receive the same amount of light. They receive equal amounts of light. So our day and night are equal across both hemispheres on the spring equinox. It is the same on the autumn equinox because then the sun is moving away from the southern hemisphere for us to going to the north to the northern hemisphere. So this is their autumn equinox. It is our spring equinox because life is returning to the southern hemisphere, because the sun god is returning. The sun is the source of all life. The sun is returning to renew life in the southern hemisphere, to renew life for us that is now in nature. We are a part of nature. So in alignment with that, we then get to align with that energy by harnessing the energy of the spring equinox in the spring. This is the beginning of the year for us. The 23rd of September marks the beginning of the year. So actually what it is that the spring equinox marks the beginning of the year. So whatever day the spring equinox falls on is the beginning of the year. It isn't always concrete on the 23rd. Sometimes it's on the 20th, 21st, 22nd, and I think this year it's on the 22nd. My family spring equinox celebration is on the 20th, but then it's something that can go on the 3 days. In that 3-day period, you're actually really, it's really important to celebrate that time, to celebrate, to honor the sun god, honor the renewal of life, appreciate life. In terms of our ancestors, they were very in alignment with, like, all cosmic events. Their celebration of the cosmos was observant. Like, that's how they connected with the energy, that's how they aligned, overstanding the movement of the cosmos, movement of the stars, the moon, the sun. So their alignment also then was in the way that they built everything, their homes, the buildings, the architecture was always in alignment with the cosmos. I explained in a previous video how the pyramids of Giza were built in alignment with Orion's belt. The Sphinx is strategically placed in alignment with the summer solstice in June. A lot of archaeologists like to suggest that our ancestors basically found that rock by accident, but the accuracy of the placement of it suggests otherwise. It is in perfect alignment, and it's not just in ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt, actually, the accuracy of all of the architecture in ancient Egypt inspired a lot of the architecture around the world. There are a lot of monuments around the world that are built to honor the spring equinox. For instance, we have the Stonehenge in England, which always reminds me of Inzalo Yelanga. Inzalo Yelanga is referred to as Adam's calendar. It was named by white people Adam's calendar. It's in Mpumalanga, and it is the world's oldest calendar. It's a rock formation. It's just the most accurate rock formation that there's ever been in the history of humanity, and that is in Mpumalanga. That's the world's oldest calendar. There's also the Neophilic henge in Germany. Actually, check up, if you look up, there's so many of them. They honor the movement of the sun, they honor the solstices, the equinoxes, and they're inspired by the structures of the architecture in ancient Kemet, because that was the greatest civilization of all time. The spring equinox is essentially the return of the sun god, Asa, Ura, Uramasedi, Bilmandi, Kamata. He's returning from the north hemisphere to restore life, to renew life. We see things start to green again. He is referred to as the green god. He was depicted as a green god oftentimes on the walls in ancient Egypt. So his principle is renewal. According to the Sacred Magic of Ancient Egypt, a book I highly recommend for anyone who is looking to understand the way in which our ancestors lived and how they connected to nature and the gods and alchemy. He basically reconstitutes that which has been dismembered, disassembled. He restores what has been broken. He returns to us after a point of spiritual blockages, creative blockages, because winter is like a blockage period where nothing can really grow, and a lot of plants don't survive, and a lot of life doesn't survive. So he returns to renew that life. He is the god of second chances. So his role in the creation process is crucial. He is one of the 5 children of our sky goddess Nut, who I spoke about in a previous video. His function is germination, which means that he is the force that brings forth that creation force, or that creative force in all living beings, that creative force that's innate within us all as living beings, within us, the creatures, the plants, all living creatures. He is that phase of creative energy, of that creation flow. So he renews that. He revitalizes that. He is that revitalizing force. That's how his energy translates in us as human beings. That's how it translates in the plants. That's how, we see then things start to green again. After this winter period of things not being able to grow, we see just a sudden emergence of creation, of growth, of like fruitful manifestation. So he infuses vitality, appreciation for life, and recovery. So he's represented by the ram, which is the animal symbol of the zodiac sign Aries. Aries is derived from Asa. The ram, which symbolizes Aries, symbolized Asa in ancient Kemet. Outside all of Asa's temples were statues of the ram. Aries is essentially the Greek interpretation of Asa. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac cycle, in perfect alignment with Asa, because Asa is the first season in the year. He's the first month of the year in our calendar. He marks the beginning of the new year. Another animal representation of Asa in ancient Kemet is the hare, the rabbit, which is the origin of the Easter bunny. The origin of the Easter celebration is the spring equinox. It's the vernal equinox, which was celebrated in the northern hemisphere in March, because their spring equinox is in March, the time of our autumn equinox. That's when the sun is moving away from us and going to them. So that's when they would celebrate their spring equinox, and that is the origin of the Easter bunny, because the Easter bunny represents Asa, represents the return of Asa to the northern hemisphere. Kemet is actually in the northern hemisphere. The Anglo-Saxons and different cultures in the northern hemisphere in that time would celebrate the spring equinox with a festival at the beginning of the spring equinox. And at the beginning of the festival, they would lay colorful eggs at the altar of the spring goddess. This is the goddess of the east, the goddess of rebirth, the goddess of resurrection. It was basically the word that Easter was derived from, and she was the goddess that they honored at the beginning of the spring season because she brought back new life. In her return, she returned with a hare. She was depicted returning with a magical rabbit, and that hare was representative of Asa. She represented Oset. When we are having our spring equinox, they're now having their season of Oset. She was the female deity that also was responsible for reassembling Asa, and that is in the creation story that I will get to when I do the African creation story video. I feel like I say this in every video when I'm going to do the African, and I will do it. It's coming. The origin of Easter eggs are the symbol that they would place on the altar. They would place colorful eggs on the altar because the eggs, they symbolized renewal. So they symbolized rebirth. That is how they would celebrate. They would have their ceremonies where they would color the eggs in different ways, decorate them, and they would place them on the altar of Oset, the altar of Eostar, to celebrate her return with the sun god. This was basically what we call today a pagan holiday or a pagan festival. During the year 325 AD, during the Council of Nicaea, Easter was proclaimed a celebration of the first Sunday after the first full moon, after the vernal equinox or the spring equinox. So their celebration of Easter with the Easter bunny and the Easter eggs that were derived from Kemet happens in March after their spring equinox. They're in perfect alignment with that. We're out of alignment with that. Our celebration of Easter is also in March, which makes no sense. It's totally out of alignment with nature. It's totally out of alignment with spirit. And that's why we have all these problems, because we have no sense of timing and no sense of direction. We just do whatever is being done in the West without questioning the origin or the history. This is our Easter celebration. This is our Easter period. This is actually the time to decorate your eggs and to do all of that stuff that you do at Easter. It at least helps to understand why we're doing it, because when we celebrate the resurrection, the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, we need to know that that death and resurrection also originates from Kemet. That's the death and resurrection of Asa, which is then symbolized by the return of the sun god. The story is all detailed in the creation story and the story of Asa, Oset, and Heru. That whole story in Kemet predates Christianity by many, many thousands of years. Christianity is the youngest religion. I never really understood why during Easter, when it's the celebration of Jesus Christ and his death and resurrection, where the Easter bunny and Easter eggs come into that whole thing. But with that understanding, you can at least now take it and place it at the right time so that you're aligning with the timing of things, you're aligning with nature, you're aligning with spirit, and that helps you to then tap into the creation source and start to really manifest results in your life. Create an altar for the Easter goddess. Look into her, do some research. Obviously everything that it is that you do, I always highly encourage research. Don't do things that you don't understand, because then you manifest things in your life that you don't understand. Ultimately, celebrating the spring equinox, aligning with the spring equinox and tapping into the God energy of the spring equinox. Get outside. Just be outside. A large part of our ancestors' alignment with nature came from observance. It was about observance and understanding the ways that nature works, the workings of nature. That's how they were able to tap into it. Observance and appreciation, because that's how you align with God, and that's how you connect with God. It's an appreciation of God's energy because you're observing his creation process. That's how you appreciate him. You know, it's all good and well to know that, you know, God did this and he said let there be light, and he created this and he created all of the creatures. But if we don't respect the creatures that he created, then we don't really respect him. So it's about really respecting God, respecting the creation source, the creative force, and tapping into that nehe, that eternal force, by observing, by surrounding yourself with the energy, observing it, appreciating it. So just get out, be outside, absorb the sunlight, enjoy the nature, enjoy the sounds of the birds, enjoy just watching the growth, because you can see, even like the trees that you had outside, you can see were like dry and desolate for a while, and now you see them start to grow again. Just really appreciate what is happening around you. You can invite friends, family, loved ones, have a feast, have a meal. A feast is always a great way to celebrate and to honor the gods and to thank the gods. You put some food on the altar if you're a family that has an altar. If you're a person that has an altar, when you are serving food, you know, take a plate of that food to your altar and you say a prayer, or you send the energy out to the universe, that thank you energy, that energy of gratitude. That's a powerful energy that's actually going to manifest real results in your life, because you are giving thanks to the God, and that's something that they really love and they appreciate, and they feed off of that energy. A lot of people are feeling they're doing a lot of planting and gardening at this point. I've seen a lot of people get into that thing of like, yeah, I'm doing my garden, I've just redone my garden, and that's really powerful. If you're doing that and you just naturally feel the energy to do that, then you're really in alignment. That is alignment. That's proper alignment, because that's what you should be doing this season. It's a really powerful ritual to tap into the creative force. And also bringing plants into your house, you know, that's also really, really a good way to infuse the energy of nature into your home, just to circulate that energy, because plants have healing power. Also crystals. I'm going to encourage crystals. I'm going to encourage any earth element. Earth elements are what will align you more than anything this season. So I'm talking plants, soil in your home, plants, soil, crystals, lots and lots of crystals, because those are from the earth, those are of the earth. The malachite crystal, more than anything, that is the seasonal crystal. That's the crystal of Asa. It's green. It guards the body against radiation. It clears electromagnetic pollution, and it's a massive boost for manifestation, for manifesting abundance. It's really good for the heart chakra because it's green. Also, if you're able to, I highly recommend visiting in Zalo Yelanga. It's in Mpumalanga. That's where you'll actually be able to see the beauty of the spring equinox. You'll be able to see the precision of the alignment that the rock formation was built with by our ancestors. I haven't been myself. I hear beautiful things about it all the time. I really want to go. I'm looking forward to going next year. I know we'll be going next year with my family. Just have a good time, you know, observe, feel the sun, feel nature, tap into nature, because you also will intuitively know what it is that you need to do to align with the energy. I trust you're going to have a beautiful spring equinox. Love and light. Take care of yourself. And always do your research. Like whatever it is that you want to do your research. The universe will meet you halfway. Love and light. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I want to say thank you so much for subscribing. We reached 1,000 subscribers. I asked and you subscribed, and I appreciate. Please do keep subscribing, keep liking the videos. This video comes as a request from, you know, one of the comments in the previous video, so do comment, ask for more, whatever it is that you want me to talk about. Thank you for watching.
All right, everybody, we're back. We're going to be, tonight we're going to be dealing with the African astrology. We're going to deal with that as part of our lesson here tonight, too. We're going to take a look at that. And I want to add, I hope you all are getting something out of this. And keep in mind, just like I stated earlier in the broadcast, you can get a hold to our numerology file by simply going to tarhaka.elimination.org. Go ahead and scroll over there to your join our mailing list, put your email in, and send that over here to us, and we'll include that in our free report when we send that to your email. Okay. Let me state that there are a lot of people who are locked in relationships today that has absolutely no knowledge whatsoever about the information that we're bringing to the table tonight. And this stuff is not brand new. This stuff has been there. There are people, some of the most prominent people on the planet, that take this stuff and use it, and been using it for years and years and years, and keeping quiet about it. And there are a lot of people who are not us, don't come from our culture, don't have anything to do with us, that's actually attributing our sciences to someone else. They're saying, well, it was the Greeks, it was the Babylonians, and matter of fact, let's take a look at how this guy is doing this stuff. And I want you to notice something very, very interesting out of the whole thing that he has to say about this. He's attributing it, its history and its origins, to anybody but you. It is amazing. I just had to bring this on. Hold on, let me make sure I got the right one. Let's see now. If this ain't the right one, then I got to go to another one. But I'm going to see if this is the right one.
For regular videos on ancient cultures and forgotten civilizations, please subscribe. If you would like to support the channel and become part of our ancient history fan community, visit patreon.com/World of Antiquity. We're going to talk about the stars today. Specifically, I want to see if we can ascertain the age of the zodiac. How far back does it go? We'll walk through the evidence and then look at some claims made about it that challenge the views of mainstream scholarship, including in an episode of Ancient Aliens. There are bound to be some things here you didn't know, so stick around. Myths of Ancient History is aimed at dispelling common misconceptions about the past. If you're interested in ancient history, lost civilizations, and secrets from antiquity, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, because you will get plenty of that kind of material. And if you find this particular video valuable, please hit the like button and comment below with your favorite takeaway. And feel free to ask any clarification questions that you may have. If we're going to be technical about it, I'm really going to be talking about the origins of the constellations that make up the zodiac, rather than just the zodiac itself. That's because the constellations came first and the zodiac came second. So, where do we begin? The 12 constellations of the zodiac are among a larger group of 48 constellations that we inherited from the ancient Romans. You might say, wait a minute, the constellations have been around since before humans even existed. Don't you mean we just inherited the names of the constellations from the Romans? Well, yeah, but the forms of the constellations too, and the images that went with them. Yes, they are natural phenomena, but a constellation, being a group of stars that remind us of something we're familiar with, is a subjective construct. Who says which stars are supposed to be viewed together? Humans do. Now yes, some groupings of stars, because they are in close proximity and might create a shape that piques our interest, are more likely to get called a constellation. But exactly how many stars make up a constellation, and what someone decides that constellation looks like, whether an animal or a person or whatever, is all in their own minds. It's like people looking at clouds and seeing different objects. The Chinese, for example, looking at pretty much the same sky, came up with a different set of constellations and identified them as different entities. The Maya probably had their own set of constellations as well, although at this point we still don't know exactly what they were. Granted, because certain groups of stars attract attention, there's bound to be some similarity among various cultures as to what they see as a constellation. And it's entirely possible for two people in different parts of the world to look up at the same constellation and think of the same animal, if they both know of the animal, even though they never had any contact whatsoever. So tracing origins can be tricky. When we try to ascertain continuity and influence, we have to look for specific and unique characteristics in sufficient quantity. Now, as for the 48 constellations we got from the Romans in turn got them from the Greeks. Ptolemy of Alexandria in the 2nd century CE wrote the influential star catalog Mathematicae Syntachis, also known as the Almagest, which presented the 48 constellations in their final form. There were other catalogs that preceded his, though. Hipparchus, perhaps the greatest Greek astronomer of them all, since he's the one who discovered precession. I'll get to that later. Who lived in the 2nd century BCE, and before him Aratos of Soli and Eudoxus of Cnidus were sources for Ptolemy. But the Greek map of the sky wasn't original. It probably was based on two different earlier systems. One came from Babylon, we know this, and the other came most likely from Mediterranean sailors who used it for navigation. The Minoans of Crete are a likely candidate for the source of that system. Now, for our purposes, since we're discussing the constellations of the Zodiac, we're going to look at the Babylonian system because Babylon is where the Greeks got it from. When Alexander the Great conquered Babylon in the 4th century BCE, the Greeks began to familiarize themselves with Babylonian astronomy and astrology. One type of text that the Greeks found in Babylon were astrometric diaries, which are books of precise measurement of planetary positions. The positions of the planets were recorded in degrees, minutes, and seconds of arc, relative to the position of the 12 signs of the Zodiac and some other related stars. Alexander's successors, who were very interested in astrology, incorporated the Zodiac into their own system, and that is how it entered the Greek world. Although the Zodiac itself is Babylonian, the word Zodiac is Greek. It means a circle of animals. Eudoxus, in his book, wrote about how the Babylonians used the Zodiac for horoscopes. His book no longer exists, but we have ancient writers tell us what was in it. Many of the Babylonian astrometric diaries, which Eudoxus consulted, do still exist, you may be happy to know, dating between 650 and 60 BCE. But the Zodiac didn't become part of them until around 420 BCE. Scholars believe that's because the Zodiac wasn't invented until just before that time. I don't mean the constellations that happen to make up the Zodiac. They had a much longer history. I mean the organization of the system of the Zodiac into 12 equal signs used for astrological purposes. You see, because the Babylonians were doing astronomy for centuries by then, and the Zodiac is never mentioned in any of their prior documents, even though the individual constellations are, it's reasonable to assume that the Zodiac was a later invention. So, around 500 BCE, the Babylonians invented 12 signs to correspond to 12 known constellations that the sun passes through in each of the 12 months of the year. Let's go back further in time. An important surviving document from Babylon is the Mulapin, an astronomical compendium, of which many copies were made, and we have pieces of a bunch of them. Our oldest copy is from 687 BCE, but the astronomical observations in it appear to date to around 1000 BCE, and we determine that from the positions of the heavenly bodies in the descriptions. So much earlier than the astrometric diaries I was just talking about. No Zodiac is in the Mulapin, but it has a complete catalog of 71 stars, planets, and constellations. The constellations are numerous, and yes, the ones that would later become part of the Zodiac are in it. All 12 of them. They're not grouped together, just mixed in with a bunch of others, but they're there. There are a handful of other non-zodiacal constellations that the Greeks later picked up in there too. As for the symbols that represent the constellations in the Mulapin, some of them already have their classical form. Cancer is a crab. Leo is a lion. Taurus is a bull. Libra is a pair of scales. Scorpius is a scorpion. Gemini is the twins, in this case Lugalgira and Mesalamta-Ea. Aquarius is the Mesopotamian god Ea, who is associated with water. Virgo is the goddess Shala, though not a virgin. And Sagittarius is a god named Pabilsag, who is sometimes depicted as part man, part horse. On the other hand, Aries is a shepherd or farmer, not a ram. Capricornus, instead of being a goat, is a hybrid goat-fish. And Pisces is not a fish, but a swallow. It would seem then that the Greeks changed Aries into a ram, Capricornus into a goat, and Pisces into a fish. Why did they do that? Well, perhaps because of the other non-Babylonian traditions they'd received. Going further back in time in Babylon, we come to the 3 stars each lists. These are tablets that date to around 1100 BCE, and there are a number of them. Only some of the constellations of the zodiac appear on these lists, and that's as far back as we can go with Mesopotamian astronomical texts. But contemporary with these lists, and going back even a little further to 1350 BCE or so, are the kuduru, or boundary stones, which have curses on them that were written to protect the land on which they were placed. Although they are not astronomical texts, they do contain symbols on them which may represent constellations. The symbols they contain include Taurus, Leo, Scorpius, Sagittarius, Capricornus, Aquarius, and probably Virgo and Aries. Forerunners to Gemini and Pisces may be on them too, but Libra and Cancer are nowhere to be found, even though we have more than 100 of these boundary stones. Of the 12 constellations that would later make up the zodiac, Libra and Cancer are probably late inventions. Cancer's stars are rather faint, so it doesn't really stand out in the night sky. Libra is described in Babylonian texts as the claws of Scorpius, which indicate that originally it was not a separate constellation, but simply part of Scorpius. Then, after it was separated from Scorpius, at some time before the 3 stars each lists, it became the Scales. But it took some time for that to catch on because it was sometimes called the Claws and sometimes the Scales. It wasn't until the time of Julius Caesar that the Scales completely superseded the Claws. Nevertheless, many scholars believe that the symbols on the kuduru simply represent gods, and that there's insufficient justification to assume that they're constellations. Yes, we know gods were often used as symbols of constellations in the time of the astronomical texts, but we simply don't know whether they did earlier. These symbols may just simply refer to gods, and that's it. Currently, there's no way of knowing. Moving backwards in time from here, we get to the Sumerian period. In the surviving texts, no constellations are named, and there in fact is no indication the Sumerians even had constellations. But as with the kuduru, there is imagery that has been interpreted as such. Bulls and lions appear often in Sumerian imagery, especially on cylinder seals, where they're often placed in the sky or with stars. These could be the constellations of Taurus and Leo. Less frequently, but still there, is the sign of the scorpion, probably Scorpius. It just so happens that in the Sumerian period, these 3 constellations, plus Aquarius, marked the 4 cardinal points of the ecliptic. The ecliptic, in case you don't know, is the circular path that the sun makes in a year, and the 4 cardinal points are set 90 degrees apart on it. The fact that these 4 constellations were major ones and never varied in their symbology throughout Mesopotamian history, and were important in their positions in the Sumerian period, suggests that they could be the oldest of the constellations that would later comprise the zodiac, and were created around 3200 BCE, give or take. We're already treading on unstable ground, but there are researchers who have suggested that some of the constellations have their origins even further back in history. What is the basis for these claims? We'll look at these claims momentarily, but first, a necessary evil. This is a community-supported channel. If you're enjoying the kind of information I've been presenting in this video, and in others like it, there are a few ways you can support the channel to help keep it alive and keep the videos coming. The very best way is by becoming a patron over on Patreon for just $2 per month. You can find that at patreon.com/World of Antiquity. If you want to help the channel out without directly donating money, you can do it indirectly, simply by watching every video all the way through without skipping the ad.
Okay, now here's a guy that attributed the origin of the astrological zodiac to places that don't exist and people that never existed in the history of the world, and not one single time did he mention Egypt. He forgot to tell you that his zodiac is carved into the floors in the temples of Egypt. It's been there for thousands and thousands of years. Now, if you've listened to our previous broadcast with Dr. Walter Williams, he plainly told you there's never been a place called Babylon. All this is a lie. There is no Middle East. It is a lie. It is Africa, the whole continent. And Dr. Williams tells us that, well, there's no such thing as a Persian. There's no such place as Persia. All this stuff was created. If you go into the Americas, you'll find a lot of ancient information that's constantly being covered up, and but it's being exposed now, dating back thousands and thousands and thousands of years before a lot of stuff they say happened in Africa, supposed to exist in Africa. It's already here in the Americas. Amazing. Pyramids all over everywhere. But I'm not going to get down into all of that, but I wanted to play that excerpt so you can see how they are taking your stuff and attributing it to somebody else. And in this case, people who just never existed. They'll say, well, it had its origins in Rome. Amazing, man. This is whew. But anyway, excuse me. Let's get on down in here, and let's take a look at this African astrology. Okay, y'all hold your hats, and we'll be right back.
Guys, welcome to Wiser's Corner. My name is Wadra. Today's video is about African astrology. Do you know what your star sign is called? If you need to find out. Before we get into that, I'd just like to say welcome to all new viewers. If you have not yet subscribed, please do click on the subscribe. We would like to have you as part of our community. To all returning and new subscribers, welcome. I love you guys. Thank you for the loyalty. Remember to leave a like and a comment, with any questions or criticism or whatever it is you'd like to tell me. Please do leave a comment. I want to hear more from you guys, yeah? Today's angel number, before we get into the video, is 1313. Now, an angel number, for those of you who are not aware, is a message from the divine that is brought by a certain number. So this week, the number that brought the message to us as a collective was 1313. So if you are not aware exactly of what angel numbers are, do look up a video on angel numbers that I made. It's an introductory and it does touch on a few of the angel numbers that are there. I am going to make a part 2, and it does get deeper into it with the information and with the new messages and new numbers, of course. But this week's number is 1313. This message applies for everyone that has been seeing the number 1313 and the number 13 repetitively for the past 2 weeks. Your message is love your creator, love yourself, and love one another. Love is the biggest commandment of all, and this is why it is taught across all religions across the globe. It is taught by those who are not religious either. It is taught by spiritualists, just to love, So let's love, man. Tell someone tomorrow, right now, in fact, while watching this video, dial somebody up and tell them you love them, Just tell them you love them. Spread some love. Right? So African astrology, according to the more contemporary or modern astrology, the astrology that we all kind of practice across the globe, the astrology that is used in your horoscopes as well. I am a fire sign. I'm a Leo, right? But according to African astrology, I belong to the earth signs and not the fire signs. And because I am an African, I think that's what I should listen to more. You know what I'm saying? Africans were actually amongst the first to study and name planets and stars. They actually, through 3 bones, and the shapes that the bones created were used to, or rather were interpreted to create the 12 different astrological signs that we have in African astrology today. So stay tuned to find out which astrological group you fall under and tell me if it's accurate or not, right? I'm also going to read mine and I'll let you know if it's accurate or not. So let's get started, yeah? I'm starting, oh yeah, the throwing of the bones is called geomancy. When they threw the bones and they created the 12 different astrological, houses, it's called geomancy. I'm not so sure of the pronunciation, but the spelling is Geomancy. Yeah. I'm gonna get straight into the video. So I'll do the S signs first. I'm gonna be looking a lot at that side because that's where the screen is. I typed everything out because it's a lot of information and I don't want to forget or miss anything. So the baobab tree, air signs. Baobab is for those born January 4th to February 3rd. Also let me know if you changed, from an element, because I said I changed from fire to earth. Let me know if you was changed, right? So January 4th to February 3rd falls under air signs. You guys are called the baobab tree. The most successful months for you guys is January and May. Your strongest sense is the smile. Your most favorable day is the Thursday. So most successful months, January and May, means if you were to execute something, choose those months because that's when you're most fortunate. So your personality, you are honest, thoughtful, and free-spirited. You will do very well in business because of your realistic and persistent nature. Your instincts and leadership skills are a gift from the divine, and you should use these as a form of giving thanks to the divine and to help with making it easy for you to achieve success in all that you desire. You are not easily swayed by the influence of others, even under pressure, making you someone who is authentic and remains true to themselves. So keep that up, right? That is admirable. It is amazing to stay true to who you are, regardless of outside forces, regardless of society's influence, your friends' influence, your family's influence, staying true to who you are. That's a very admirable trait. Your playful nature is admirable, but can make it a little difficult for you to assume a position of authority. So basically know when it's time to play and know when it's time to be serious, right? It's about balance. Beware of allowing anxiety to unsettle you and derail you from your goals and purpose, as this might lead to depression. So anxiety is only gonna hinder you and keep you in a very dark place. I mean, you have no control over whether you experience anxiety or not, but be mindful not to allow it to affect you in such a way that you're not able to live your life fully, right? Always remain in your power by not allowing external influences to have too much of an impact on who you are and what it is you're meant to do on this earth. I already said, you're strong-willed, you know who you are, but if you do find yourself in a place where you have lost direction or a sight of exactly who you are, it's never too late to turn back and to leave that situation or cut off that person that is taking you away from your divine path, right? Our second astrological sign, according to African astrology, is the wealth of amber and silver. Those are precious, right? So this is people born between February 4th and March 5th, still under air signs, right? Your most successful months are February and June. Your strongest sense, sight, most favorable day, Wednesday. You are very temperamental and have intense emotions. Your originality is important to you, so you should incorporate it in your daily living and how you handle situations. You're strong-willed and are not easily swayed by outside influences. You're free-spirited and innovative. Use these gifts, because those are gifts. Not everybody is innovative. Not everybody is free-spirited, right? So use those gifts to your advantage and to advance yourself in life. You're generally a hasty and busy person, so make sure to connect with your inner self in order for you to remain balanced and not be out of sync with nature. You will do very well in love and business because of your quick wit and ability to counsel and offer guidance. Right? Our third is still under the air signs. These ones are called the Traveler. They were born between September 4th and October 3rd. Your most successful month is January and September. Strongest sense is your side. Most favorable day is Thursday. Your wandering and sensitive nature make it easy for you to be misunderstood. So you're misunderstood quite a lot. And this is due to the fact that you are a wanderer and that you're sensitive. Make sure that, so don't let this affect you, right? This is just who you are. You know, you're a wanderer and you're sensitive. So being misunderstood, don't let it get to you. It is what it is. Make sure that everyone in your circle has pure intentions of you, as you're prone to attracting superficial individuals. Trust more your intuition and stop beating yourself up too much when things don't work out how you had initially envisioned. Learn how to integrate your inner and outer self, and this will help you travel this route with much ease. This means basically that as much as you put in effort to look pretty, you know, on the outside, put in as much effort, tend to your inner self as well, and incorporate them in order for them to become one whole, you know, one complete whole. And that's who you are, because you're not just flesh, but you're flesh and spirit, right? So it'll make it easier for you to maneuver through life once you have acknowledged both, and you tend to both. Now we move on to the earth signs. I'm an earth, right? I'm an earth sign. Our first earth sign is those born between April 5th and May 4th. You guys are called small services to the neighborhood. So you guys are service, right? Most successful months, April and August. I was born in August. Your strongest sense is hearing. Your most favorable day is Saturday, they say. You have the ability to keep a good balance between your sense of humor and being sweet. So that's nice. You know when to be humorous, you know when to be serious. Keep it up. Very useful trait. Organization and interaction are your biggest strengths and will help you get far in life if you learn how to accurately use them. So continue to be organized, right? And continue to interact with others. You know, it will advance you, they say. You are naturally a socialite and can therefore make friends with ease. Not all the friends or relationships you find yourself in will last, because not all of them are genuine, which is expected. You know, you attract way too many people. There's no way all of those have pure intentions. You know what I'm saying? You are creative, dependable, and strong, and this enables you to get solutions with ease, right? Use more your creativity to express yourself. That's what the divine says. It wasn't written down. It literally just popped up for you guys. So pursue more your creative interests to express yourself and to offload as well. It'll be very beneficial for you. March 6th and April 4th is the fifth group. They call the family. So the family is those born between March 6th and April 4th. The most successful months are called March and July. Your strongest sense is your smile. Your most favorable day is a Tuesday. You are said to be selfless, nurturing, and warm. Your sharing nature is what draws most to you. So remember to have limits, because takers don't have any, right? It's good that you're sharing by nature, but watch out for vultures, watch out for leeches, watch out for manipulators, watch out for opportunists, right? Have a limit. Give, but have a limit. Your rationality and strength will make it easy for you to be successful in whichever environment you find yourself in. Many seek guidance and advice from you because you are so deeply rooted in care. You do not entertain pettiness and gossip. There is one great accomplishment that you will need to achieve, right? But this does not mean you will not succeed in other areas of your life. So there's one thing in this world that you're brought to achieve, right? It's your main thing. But it doesn't mean you won't achieve other things, right? Do not allow fear to prevent you from pursuing and chasing your goals and desires. So be afraid, but don't let it stop you, right? Our sixth group, I fall under this group. We are called the Kola nut. It is for those born between August 5th and September 3rd. Our most successful months are August, our month, and December. Strongest senses are tastes, they say. I'm not so sure. I thought my strongest sense was my hearing, but they say taste. So let me know what's up. Favorable days Wednesday. It is said that we are temperamental, energetic, sensual, and brave, right? It is easy for us to retain knowledge and are therefore very wise. As wise as owls. That's facts. We are free-spirited and always seeking adventure, and we are unconventional, and this will expose us to many situations in our youth. But once we get over this, this youthful folly, this playfulness, we become wise counselors, right? We are clairvoyant and highly intuitive by nature, and once we learn to listen and understand our intuition, we'll always be one step ahead in life. It's true. Not sure about the sense being taste. It's more hearing for me, but anyway, everything else is accurate though. Fire signs. We move on to fire signs now. These are people born between May 5 and June 4. You guys are called the market. Your most successful months are May and September. Strongest sense is touch. Most favorable day is Sunday. You guys are said to be dramatic, optimistic, with the desire to help other people. Your calmness and danger. Calmness and danger. Calmness and danger, prosperity and calmness. This sign is led by that duality. Oh, okay, so you guys are able to be calm and dangerous, and you guys are able to prosper and be calm at the same time. And this is because you guys, have mastered how to be dual. It's like you guys know how to flip different sides of the same coin. You guys know how to maneuver it very well. Watch out not to be misled by outside influences and settling for relationships that do not align with you at your highest level. Release fears and doubts when it comes to the future of yourself and those that you love. You are highly spiritual by nature, so make sure to tend and feed your spirit as much as you nourish your physical body as well. Our 8th group is called the Judge. You guys were born between July 5th and August 4th. It is said that a very grounded and well-balanced source of energy is a gift that the divine has blessed this group with. Let your spiritual and innovative nature be the main compass for you to maneuver through life. Decision-making is something that you do with ease, so be aware that you have it in you to make the right decisions concerning your life. Trust, every decision you make will be a successful step that you take. You can easily identify your strengths and weaknesses rather, so put this ability to good use and it will help to drive your life in the right direction. Your enthusiasm and kindness.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. If it's your first time seeing me, go ahead and like this video because I know you're going to like it already. Subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you never miss another upload. And if you already are subscribed, then hey girl, welcome back. So today guys, we are going to be going through all of the meanings of the tarot cards. I have been wanting to do this video for a while. I've been waiting to do this video for a while, so I decided today, girl, why not? So we're going to get into all of the tarot card meanings, and y'all know I talk fast and I get right to the point, so this is not going to be a long video by a long shot. I don't think it's going to be that long, but yeah, I have all of the cards laid out in front of me, so we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. So if you're a beginner, I think this is going to be a really good reference video for you to just, Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. If it's your first time seeing me, go ahead and like this video because I know
From Earth, we always see the same face of the moon because the moon is spinning on its axis at the same speed that it's going around the Earth. In African cosmology, the moon has always been a feminine symbol, also universally representing the rhythm of time as it embodies the cycle. The phases of the moon symbolize immortality and eternity, and they also express the duality between enlightenment and the dark side of nature. It was always believed to reflect inner knowledge or the phases of man's condition on Earth, since it controls the tides, the rains, the waters, and we're 70% water. So the same influence that it has over the tides, it will have over us as human beings. It's the middle ground between the light of the sun and the darkness of the night. So it represents the realm between the conscious and the unconscious. From Earth, we always see...
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. If it's your first time seeing me, go ahead and like this video because I know you're going to like it already. Subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you...
From Earth, we always see the same face of the moon because the moon is spinning on its axis at the same speed that it's going around the Earth. In African cosmology, the moon has always been a feminine symbol.